everyone, and welcome to Colleen's Crafting Trove. We're at a little bit different angle today. I've got my next round of WIP Parade. I think I have all of the WIPs now gathered. Let's see if we can just move slightly. Do you guys see that pile of WIPs? That is all my WIP bags, minus the ones that I already showed you in my last WIP Parade. So we're going to start where we ended last time. Well, start where we were gonna end last time with what is in this bag. This is one of my bags from Jane. Yeah, Jane at Scraptastic Yarns. I am using for this one, I am using my 5.5 millimeter furls. Can you see? There we go. Yeah, it's still not going to focus. I will figure out this focus thing. I honestly think it's my camera. I just have kind of a cheapy camera for now. Kind of wanted to see how this whole YouTube thing went before I start really investing. So this is the start, like the very start of a shirt. And honestly, I'm just designing as I go, but I'm kind of thinking I'm going to leave it as a V-neck somehow. Not exactly sure where it's going to go, but it was something. I'm just playing with the yarn, and it's something I had started, and I ripped out and started again. But I am using Caron Blossom Cakes. There we go. I love this yarn. I absolutely love this yarn. I made a Cinnamon Stitches shrug, the shrug thing, using this yarn. Oh, it is so soft. Alright, so I'm going to try and go through some of this really quickly because we have a lot of projects to go through. So, Blossom Cakes, medium weight 4, 5mm knitting needles, 5mm hook, machine washable and dryable, 61% cotton, 39% acrylic, 8 ounces, 227 grams, 481 yards, 440 meters. And this is the Denim Days colorway. Really like this color. So that shrug that I made is using the like grayish colored one. So I have 3 cakes in here, and I'm really hoping that I can get something made with these 3 cakes. I made that shrug with less than a cake, so, well, just over a cake. Just over 1 cake for the shrug. So I should be able to make myself a shirt with 3 cakes of this. Alright, so that is number 1. Oh, so it's got the skulls and roses, because skulls and roses are kind of my thing. Skulls and roses. And then on the inside, she's got spider webs and little spiders, if you can see the little spider there. So I really love this bag. Alright. I am going to get this one tied up and put back on the wall to give myself a little bit of room. I have to tie these up kind of funny so that the kitties don't... Okay, I guess I'm not getting it back up there. Alright, next one is this bag. This is just a generic bag I got a ton of these off of Amazon one day. Oh, I better put my hook back in there. See, that's how I lose hooks. Stick that back in there. Alright, so for this project, I am using a 5.5 millimeter, and I believe this is an Omi hook. Um, the red, it's red, red swirled. So I am making, this is where I'm at the moment. This is going to be a shrug, and this is actually, this came from a Crochet World magazine. Oh, wrong button. Let me see. And this is the Cozy Summer Cocoon Cardi. If you can see that. I don't remember whose channel I saw it on, but I saw it on somebody's channel. And I went, ooh, I need to make that. So I downloaded the Crochet World magazine from the Libby app from my local library. So I've gotten 2 of the squares made. It's you're making a bunch of squares and joining them together to make the cardi. I've got 2 of them made, and what I'm using, and I don't know if you could see it, I'm actually holding together a red yarn with a red glimmer strand. I don't know, I don't really think you can see the glitter. Well, I am using, if I can get it out without destroying everything, I am using Brava worsted, 500 gram from Knit Picks in the colorway red. Let's see, it says number 7, number to 8 knitting needles, an I to K hook, 100% premium acrylic, machine washable and dryable from Knit Picks, 1,090 yards or 500 grams. It's not a whole lot of information, but and this beautiful red, and that is not the right color. That's way orange on my screen. This is much more of like a cherry red than what this is showing. See if maybe what's still connected, if you can see. And I'm trying to lose things, so this, I'm in the middle of making the next square, and I'm all tangled up. Where are we? That's the difficult part of holding 2 things together. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. Can I get a glimmer? Oh, maybe a little bit you can see there. But what I'm holding together with it is this. And I got this from Hobie, and I cannot remember for the life of me what. Is it in here still? No, that's my stitch markers. That's the empty bag. I have a whole other ball of it here in case I need it, which I don't think I will, but oh, this is actually the labels from what I'm wearing. True. So this is the Summer Breeze tank top by Cinnamon Stitches, and I made it with True in the, oh no, that's the mauve. So that was a different one. But this is also made in True. And get rid of those. But yeah, I guess I don't have the label for this anymore. But this, I got this from Hobie. And it's really, really, really thin. I don't know if you can even, I don't have that black folder in here this time. It's really, really thin. But it looks amazing. It really does. the glitter that it adds to the project is just, wow, this is going to be stunning when it's done. Alright, so that is that. And again, that was the Cozy Summer Cocoon Cardigan, or Cardi. I want to say that was in like the May or June Crochet World. Like I said, I downloaded it from the library. I've already had to return it, so when I'm ready to work on this project again, I'll have to download it again. I did screenshot it. I probably shouldn't admit that, but I did screenshot it, but I will obviously download it again and do it the right way. And yeah, my 5.5mm Omi hook. Alright. What is next? So next is going to be this one. So I actually made this project bag, and this is the Japanese knot bag by Bag O' Day Crochet. This is the one where you get the long strap, the short strap, you put it through, and this took me forever to make. Alright, and what do I have in here? Sad part is I don't even know what's in most of these bags anymore, to be completely honest. Alright, so this is a 5.5K. No, K is 6.5. This is a K pearls hook. And I am making a wrap, which honestly could probably be a blanket as well, but it is more than my wingspan, and I am 6 foot tall. And I think I made this about 7 foot long. And this is, if you can see the stitch pattern here, this is the stitch pattern that I used in my poncho that I designed, but I wanted to make it into a wrap, and someday I might share this with you guys if I ever figure. Obviously I'll have to block this. And this is being made with Loops and Threads Facet Stones, the one from a few years ago. And I don't know the colorway because this came unlabeled from Michaels. I have 2 balls left. When I found this yarn at Michaels, it was on clearance, and there was like 6 or 7 balls of this colorway that were just strewn about and tangled up, and it was like, oh, this is just a disaster. And I grabbed the whole thing, the big huge mess, put it in my cart, went up to the front, and I said, this is a disaster. This is a yarn that's on clearance. What are you willing to do? So they gave me the whole thing for the clearance price of 2 balls. Because she couldn't clearly tell how many balls were in there. And there was 2 labels in it, and I made my mom a sweater out of this yarn a couple years ago for Christmas. And for the life of me, I cannot remember that colorway. And then I also have my yarn bowl. This was a handmade yarn bowl by a friend of mine that does woodwork. I had asked him to make this for me. And it's so stunning. And he does have a YouTube channel and a website. I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called right now, but I will link it down below if any of you are interested. Oh, hey, look, that's his tag. Yep, I can't remember. That's his tag. So I will share his website and his YouTube down below. If any of you are interested, I don't remember what he charged me for this. I want to say it was around $60. Another, I am notorious for stashing labels when I'm done with them and not throwing them away. But yeah, I figure I'll just work this until the yarn is gone, and that'll be that. If I ever get back to it. One of these days. Alright, put that hook back in there so I don't lose it, because I would be really bummed if I lost it. Alright, next. And I'm going to have to find, I know what this is. Extra ball, I guess. Alright, so this, I downloaded this pattern. Let's see if I can find it here. Patterns. I'm not very prepared. I apologize. Downloads. Patterns. Find the pattern clean. Find the pattern quickly. Alright, I'm going to pause you guys really quick while I find this pattern. Alright, so I guess I didn't download the pattern. I guess this was a tutorial. This is something I am making for my sister. And this is, so my sister has a hobby farm, and she has chickens. So it's not very far. But this is the start of the Egg-Cellent Egg Apron from Hook Home. I'll tag that down below so you guys can watch it if you want. But I wanted to make this for her. I started this last summer, and I was going to have it finished for Christmas last year, for Christmas of 2022, and we see how far that got. But I am using Comfy Cotton Blend in the colorway Blueberry Muffin. And this is a lightweight 3, which I've always thought it's closer to a 4. 4.5mm needles, 6mm hook, and I am using a 6.5mm Susan Bates for this. Machine washable and dryable, 50% cotton, 50% polyester. Yeah, 7 ounces, 200 grams, 392 yards, 358 meters. And I figured I have 2 and a partial balls of this. I figured that should be more than enough to do that apron. So I guess I really need to get on the ball and get that done so that she can have that this year for Christmas, because her chickens, and she actually has chickens and quails, and they are laying eggs like crazy. So that's awesome. I'm glad. Alright, next one. This is a Temu bag. I don't do Temu anymore. I did it for a very short, brief time. I've got a lot of really cute clothes, but I don't do it anymore. So I won't do it anymore. So this is my next project. This is just a little start of a scarf. And this is my first knit show that I'm showing you. And I'm just doing a basic garter. Because this yarn, I've played with this yarn a little bit. It's really nice and soft, but it doesn't really leave itself any sort of room for anything fancy. So I'm just doing a basic garter scarf. And what this yarn is Gina Kuzma Klubakin? Gina Kuzma Klubakin. And I got this yarn in a Mary Maxim kit. One of their crochet kits, I think. Maybe than it, because I did get both for a while. I don't get them anymore. I had gotten them for a while, then ran into some financial difficulties and canceled. And then I started it again, and then I got 2 months in a row of just bleh. It's like, no, I don't like this. And I was getting both knit and crochet at that point, so I was spending, $50 a month on their kits, and 2 months in a row that I didn't like what I got, so I canceled. And then, of course, as soon as I canceled, the next couple of months, it's like, ooh, I really like that. Man, why did I cancel? But I was like, no, you keep getting disappointed. And then I'm glad now, still, that I had canceled, because the July and August, I haven't seen September's yet, but the July and August kits, from what I was seeing on YouTube, were highly disappointing. So this is just a little knit scarf using this Gina Kuzma. I'm not really going to give too many details because I don't think you can get this. It is a micro polyester. Each ball is 50 grams. It just has a color number 823, so if you're interested, you can try and look it up, but I've never had any luck looking up this Gina yarn. I don't know where it comes from. I've looked on the internet and I can't find it anywhere, because there was another Gina yarn that I had gotten that I really, really liked, and yeah, I couldn't find it anywhere. I think it was alpaca blend, actually. I can see it over in my cubbies. Where to go next? Let's go here. Let's see what's in this thing. Oh, okay. This actually probably shouldn't be in the WIP pile, because it's not really a WIP anymore. This is more of something I have frogged. And I haven't put the yarn away. So this one, I was making a baby blanket for my neighbor, and I actually got pretty far into it, I think. I still have maybe I am done with it. Oh, I'm done with it. I should really give this to her. I thought I had ripped that out. So my neighbor had a baby. Oh gosh, she's a 1.5 years old now. So I made this. I want to say this is the Bagel Day crochet pattern, but I'm not entirely positive. So I really should go get this washed up and get this to her. My goodness. See what happens when you start going through your WIP stuff? Alright. I'll get that washed, and then I can put the rest of that away. And I use Soft and Shiny, Loops and Threads Soft and Shiny. There we go. And this is the colorway Landscape. And this is a discontinued colorway, and that's why I thought I had ripped it out, because it was a discontinued colorway, and I thought didn't have enough yarn, and turns out I had plenty. So I will need to get that put away. Is that the right label? Yeah. Alright. I will put those back in here and get those put away. I could, like I said, I don't remember what pattern. I think it's a Bag of Davies pattern, but I'm not sure which one. I don't know what size hook. Once a project is finished, usually it escapes my brain. I can get a relatively decent recollection, but not always. Alright, next. Another one that got set aside because I lost track of where I was. Oh, hey, that's where all those went. Alright, so this is the start. This is actually a tank top. And I'll probably end up ripping it out. Because one, it is way too big now. I've lost some weight, so I'm not as big as I was. So this is probably way too big for me now. This is my stitch markers. So this is, I am using a 5mm cheapy hook. I will probably end up replacing that hook. Actually, I'll probably rip this out and start over because I don't even know where I am. But this is, that is not the right pattern. That is not the right pattern. What? Okay, it's not a tank top, it's a tunic. So maybe it wasn't too big. Alright, so this is the Ollie tunic from Hooked Hazel. I think I got this off Etsy, or no, Ravelry. Let's see, the Ollie tunic, pre-crochet pattern. This is what it's supposed to look like. And yeah, I had started it and then I lost track of where I was, like my row count, because you know I don't use a row counter because that would be smart. I have a ton of them. I have like somewhere in this house I have like a bag of row, like the little like put on your finger row counters. Because, you know, I try to be organized. But, yeah, this is made in single crochet. And I tried. I started marking every 2 rows. And then, yeah, I lost track. So I will probably end up ripping this out and starting over. Because I do still want this. I am using Hayfield Bonus DK. I got this from the Wool Warehouse. I love this, the flex in this, I don't know if you can see the little brown and black fuzzy sticking out of that. So this, like I said, this is Hayfield Bonus DK Extra Value. It's really, really soft. I got a 12 pack of 100-gram balls. So this is machine washable, tumble dry, 100 grams. This is the color Sandstorm. So wash warm, maybe dry clean, cool, tumble dry, dry press, never wet press, 4mm hook, 4mm needles. Yeah, 100-gram ball, 306 yards, 280 meters, 100% acrylic. So I really like this yarn. It's really soft. It's really, really pretty. It's kind of a buff white color with the red and black or not red and black, brown and black squigglies through it. I don't know if you can see that. There's a good shot of it up here. Really, really like this yarn. It's really soft, and I had actually bought this yarn to make a project for my mom, and it was something I was not prepared for. It was the Exeter. Oh, I have it. I have it on my phone here. Let's see. I had bought it. I've bought so many different yarns to make this sweater. The Exeter Gansey cardigan. I was gonna make that for my mom, and I just keep getting intimidated by it. I'll start it and then I stop, rip it out, start it. The last time I started it, I started making it with the shawl in a ball. I have 4 balls. Thinking that I was going to be able to get this yarn, I started it. I have four balls in the opal colorway that I was going to use to make that because it calls for a DK weight yarn, and I figured, I know they call it a number 4, but we all know shawl in a ball is skinnier than a number 4. So I thought that it would work, and it was working great, and then I lost track of where I was, and I could not figure out where I was, so it got ripped out. I'm really good at frogging and not finishing. Alright, next up, we'll do this one. Oh, looks like this is another shirt in the making. Another one of those ones from Fiberplex. I didn't get very far, but in this one I am using, well, I had started it, I had started something else with it, got really far actually, and then ripped it out and decided I was going to make this. I am using a 4.5mm, and this is an Omi hook. Love this hook. My cats run away with my boxes, which is why you see all these beautiful hooks without their boxes. But in this, for this, I am using Willow Yarns Wheels in this beautiful Eden colorway. Really, really like this yarn. I really need to get more of this yarn. It's soft for being a wool and not a superwash wool. So this is a 70% acrylic, 30% wool, 3-weight, hand wash, lay flat, 3.75mm crochet needle or knitting needles, 3.75 hook, made in Turkey. 377 yards, 345 meters, 139 grams. Just beautiful, beautiful yarn. And it's the greens and or blues and teals. And yeah, so, and some grays. So I'll probably take this one with me because I'm going to be, so I'm recording this on Sunday. You'll see this on Wednesday. And I start jury duty tomorrow. And granted, I don't know if I'm going to actually have to go to the courthouse yet. I have a little over an hour and a half before I have to call in and see if I have to go in. But obviously I plan on taking a few projects with me for while we wait. Oh, next. What do I want to look at next? Oh, alright, we're going to do this one next. I know I just saw this. So I had the intentions of joining in the Bellavita, or the crochet along that Sam from Memphis makes, Amanda, oh, I can't remember names now. But the crochet along that they started in June and ran through July, I intended on being a part, or participating in that. And they were doing the Bellavita shawl by Wilma Westenberg. Downloaded the pattern. I intended on participating in it, and I had a really good start, and then Mom's stuff kind of took over for a while, and honestly, I haven't had a whole lot of crafting time lately, so I am using a 5mm furrows for this. This is one of my cookies and creams. And I tell you, these types of bags work really good as project bags. I have a My Pillow. My husband and I just recently upgraded our bed to a split king, and we got ourselves a couple of My Pillow beds, actually. They're really comfy. They really are. We needed to be able to have a... I snore really bad. I'll admit it. I snore really bad. And I'm sure I probably have sleep apnea. I just haven't done the sleep study. Because I don't sleep well as it is, so I don't want to go have people putzing with me. And my husband had to have a sleep apnea machine for a little bit, and once he didn't need it anymore, I tried it for I want to say I had it on my face for all of 20 seconds, and I had to take it off because I can't have stuff covering my face or covering my nose and mouth, which made the pandemic just horrible for me, with having to wear masks all the time. Old relationship, bad, my relationship prior to my relationship with my husband was a very bad relationship, and trauma. Big trauma from that relationship, which I didn't realize I had until we had to start wearing masks all the time, and trying to cover my nose and mouth just made me panic. So yeah, trying to use the sleep apnea machine was not happening. But this is the progress I made on the Bellavita shawl. I have it tagged where I was at. It's beautiful, absolutely stunning, and I will finish it. And I am using, I'll show you a full ball. I am using Premier Anti-Pilling DK Colors in the colorway, what is this colorway? Picnic. This is one I had in my stash for a really long time, and I was like, I need something cute that I can make this shawl with, and I love this Anti-Pilling DK Colors. It is so soft. Oh, it's so soft. I love Premier yarns. I really do. I don't order it enough. But I also have quite the stash, so I don't really need to order any yarn anytime soon. Of course, who did what really, having a large yarn stash would stop. I mean, does that stop any of us from buying more yarn? Really? Alright, so that's my progress on my Bellavita shawl. I'm running out of room to put things. Oh, let's see. Next up, oh, this is all my latte cakes. This is actually, this project is in multiple bags. I am making a blanket. I know I always say I'm not a blanket maker, but I am trying to make a blanket for my husband and mine's bed. And I decided to use latte cakes in the colorway Frozen Ginger because my local Michael's closed a couple years ago. And they had all of their yarn 75% off. So that is actually where a good portion of my yarn stash came from, was that sale when they were closing that store, because I found out about it like right away. And like as soon as that clearance dropped down to the 75% for the yarn, I was like, I am there. And I bought, and this is bad. This is really, really bad. So please don't judge me for this. But I had 2 carts full of yarn, and I spent under $200 for 2 full carts of yarn. When I was bringing it home, the trunk of my car was full, and the back seat of my car was full, and I had to have a bag on the front seat too. When I was bringing it all home, I brought it in the house. I called my husband when I was getting home, and I said, "Hey, can you come help me bring this all in?" And he's like, "Okay, how much is there?" I said, "My car's full." And he went, "What?" I went, "Yeah." He's like, "How much did you spend?" I'm like, "Less than $200. He's like, "I can't be mad at that." But yes, this is part of that yarn haul, and I have like 15 of these. And so I was like, I can make a blanket for my king size bed with 15 latte cakes. If you don't know, again, this is the Frozen Ginger colorway. I don't think they make this color anymore. It's a bulky 5, 6.5 millimeter knitting needles, 6.5 millimeter hook, machine washable and dryable. That is not correct. Do not wash and dry. I mean, you can wash it in the machine, but lay it flat to dry. It will cause your fuzzies to look felted if you put it in the dryer. Yeah. So don't put it in the dryer. Please, please, please don't put your latte cakes in the dryer. Alright, 58% acrylic, 42% nylon. This is honestly one of my favorite yarns. Just love how soft and silky and smooth and fuzzy it is. 8.5 ounces, 250 grams, 530 yards, 485 meters. Again, I don't think they make this colorway anymore, but it's, this beautiful like pinky red and gray, like silver blue, and it's so pretty. So yes, this is a blanket for my bed. I've started and ripped out and started and ripped out and started and ripped out so many times. I started a C2C with it. I started just a plain half double crochet because I want it to be thick enough that it'll actually keep us warm, but thin enough that it doesn't bake my husband, because my husband is a very hot sleeper and I'm a freeze baby. But I also want something that isn't gonna get completely destroyed by kitty claws. So yeah, I think right now what I'm doing, I think I'm back to half double crochet, but I'm holding 2 together. I think that's what I'm doing. Honestly, I don't remember. Yep. Alright, next we'll go with this bag. Oh, this is another one that I'm designing. I think that's, yeah, I'm designing. There's my hook. So for this one, I am using, oh, and for that, for the blanket, I'm not even sure what I'm using, to be honest. Alright, so this is my 4.5mm furls. This absolutely stunning, glittery, I think this is the Andromeda? I'm not 100% positive, but it's beautiful. It's all sparkly. I am using Carnival, Hobie Carnival. This is color 6. These beautiful blues and grays. And I am doing, what am I doing? I think this is another wrap. Yes, this is another wrap. And I believe this is a stitch marker from Rose. Rose likes crochet. And this is just a basic V-stitch wrap. If you can see that. And again, another one of those, it's bigger than my wingspan. And I'm all tangled. So, there's half of my wingspan, another half of my wingspan. So it's about 7 feet. That's about what I like to do for my wraps, because most of the time I keep the wraps for myself. And if I'm not, I know a lot of really tall people. I come from a tall family, so if I give it to a family member, because I like, if I'm going to wrap up in something, I like to be, nice and cozy. Alright. We'll go with this one next. So this is, this is the Montestera from Expression Fiber Arts. So this is a crochet shirt, and I'm not using the recommended yarn. While I love her patterns, I have not bought any of her yarn, and I feel bad. But I am using Red Heart. It's a wrap in the colorway do they not really have a colorway? Oh, Action. Starts up with black and goes into this beautiful teal and then this beautiful turquoise. Or, yeah, like starts turquoise in the middle and out to teal and then to black. I'm just starting the black section off of ball 1, and I am just about ready to join for the, boy, that looks really big now. I started this quite a while ago. But I am, let's see, where am I at? I am on round 51, and then I think I'm just about ready to join for... I'm making a double X, and I think I'm just about to the point where I'm going to be separating for sleeves. If I'm reading the pattern correctly. But, so this is a 50% cotton, 50% acrylic, 1100 yards, 106 meters, 7 ounces, 200 grams. I don't think they make this yarn anymore. If I remember correctly, they've discontinued this yarn, and I have quite a few of it, quite a few different colorways in it. It calls for a 2.75 knitting needle. Doesn't have a hook on it. It is a superfine 1. Oh, okay. Hook 3.25. Machine wash cold. Gentle cycle. Dry flat. Do not bleach. Do not iron. Do not dry clean. So that is my... And I will have all of these patterns and everything linked down below. Patterns and tutorials. Because there is a tutorial for this, I believe. I'll have to double check. And then I am using a 3.75 Susan Bates. Why do I even try to show the size? But that is, I really need to pick this back up because I was really enjoying working on that. Oh. What is this one? Oh, this is another one of those ones that I really just need to put the yarn back away because this has already been frogged. This is actually my very first ever crochet project, and it was a heartbreaking story. So I was using Sweet Roll in the colorway Cheesecake Pop, and I literally had the project done. So this is what I ripped out. I literally had the project done. Like I said, it was my very first crochet project ever. It was a pattern by Bag O' Day Crochet. I'll link it below because I can't remember what it's called, but I know what it is. I will find it and I will link it. It was one of her lacier tops. Alright, now that that's all done. Rude interruption. Not only did my battery die, but my memory card was full, and then my computer memory was full, and it's just been a whole... Anyway, I'm gonna move you in just a little closer again. Sorry for that. Alright, so where was I? So I was telling you about this bag. I was telling you about the project I had made with this. So I made Crystal at Bag O' Day Crochet. I had made her... Dang it, I even looked it up. Summer... something crochet top. It was one of her, like swimsuit cover type tops. I'll have it linked below. I have it saved, all that fun stuff. But I had it all made. I had it all made. And this was, really early in my crafting career. Without weaving in the ends and all that fun stuff, I threw each panel into the washer. Lesson learned. Don't do that. Especially if you don't have your yarn ends completely secured. It got each panel, like half of it unraveled. it was just a huge mess. I had to cut probably about 20 yards of yarn out when I was detangling and rolling it back up because I just couldn't get it all untangled. So, lesson learned. Uh, yeah. While I was doing all the messing around with the computer and getting all that taken care of, and I also kind of sorted out over here, so I only have over here what's left to show you. We're getting close. I think there's only 5 projects left. So that will actually end up going back in my yarn stash. Next is this project. I don't think I showed this to you last time. So with the last one I had showed it, but I think this was in the part that got cut off. So this is a tank top that I am making Hectanuga 1? Or is this Olga? Hectanuga 1 or Olga Patlova? I don't remember. I have it saved so that I can link it below. But it's a tank top. I really love this. I really love it, but I screwed it up. So I think I'm going to have to rip it out at least a few rows and start again. I am using so I have this much left of the first ball. I have 4 balls of this, so I should have more than enough to make this shirt. This is Maypole DK in the Carnival colorway. I don't know if you can get this yarn still or not. I got this in a Mary Maxim crochet kit. It's 100% polyester, 3.52 ounces, 100 grams, 262 yards, 240 meters. Medium 4, I consider it a 3 weight. It's pretty thin. I really like it though. It's really soft. It's really easy to work with, even with the bumpies on it, as Crystal calls it, the bumpies. 4 to 5 millimeter needles, 5.5 to 6.5 millimeter hook. Made in China by Knitting Fever. Why is it that I always love the Knitting Fever yarns? Alright, and I am using a 5.5 millimeter crochet furls hook. I don't remember what the colorway was on this one. I know this is one of the discontinued colors. Because I have a tendency to get my furls hooks when they're on sale. You know, that buy 2 get 3 free sale that they do every once in a while. Yeah, that's when I get my hooks. Kind of really bummed that I couldn't get in on the $9 seconds hooks that they're doing right now. Excuse me, I need to grab a sip of my beverage. Real sugar Pepsi is the way to go if you're gonna do pop with sugar. Alright, 3 more to go. So this big huge bag, this huge bag, is my Bag O' Day crochet along blanket that I had started. And I had the intentions of using that crochet along to make a blanket for my bed. So I figured out I was going to need 9 of each square. So it was going to be 9 by 12. Because she had told us it was going to be 12 squares and they were going to be all about the same. So I figured 9 by 12 should fit the bed. So I did, I started doing my 9 of each square, and I got this square. I got all 9 of the ones for this square. And then I got all 9, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had all 9 of this square. And then I think I had all 9 of this one. I'm not going to dig it all out. And then I had a bunch of this one, which this is the big bird one, this is the one with the nest on it. We got to that one and I went, well, I can't make the nest because I have cats. And that's just going to be claws getting damaged and stuck and all that left and right. So I went, yeah, I'm not going to do the nest. So I figured out how to do it without the nest because it wasn't working out quite the same. Oh yeah, and then I had this one. I think I had all 9 squares of that one too. But I got, you know, the further and further she got into the make-along, the more and more I'm going, this just isn't going to work. I mean, I got all of these squares done, but this isn't enough for a blanket for my bed. I've laid it out, trying, because I like, if I'm going to make a blanket for my bed, I have a king-size bed, it's going to overlay. I mean, it's not just going to lay across the top. It's going to hang over the side, it's going to hang over on the bottom, so it can be properly tucked in, because I'm a freeze baby, my husband is not. I think I mentioned that already in this video. So I want to make sure, you know, that we're not fighting over the blanket. So I put this aside and I've been trying to figure out what to do with it. Well, then along comes Boggy Creek. And I went, I can use those squares and make Boggy Creek blankets. So I think I have enough here to do 3 Boggy Creek blankets. Because, you know, they have the dimensions. They need to be, you know, 35 to 40 by 40 to 50. I figure I can do 3 by 3, add a little bit of a border to the top and bottom, within a small border to the side to meet the dimensions. So, and since I'm using all acrylic yarn, I'm using Big Twist Value. These are the colors I'm using. I'm using the color Wine and the color Dark Denim, which this is now a discontinued colorway, and I don't have enough left to make the rest of the squares that I was going to make. So I'm going to change course, make these, join these, make these into Boggy blankets, send these to Nancy. So that's this project. I just got to figure out when I'm going to get all that done, because in the interim, while I was doing all the moving of files and charging of batteries and all that fun stuff, I did call in to see if I have to report in for jury duty, and of course I do. So I'm making this on 9/24, and 9/25 I will be reporting in for jury duty. So, alright. So, that is that one. 2 more, guys. 2 more. Oh. Next is this big huge bag. And for somebody who doesn't make blankets, I sure have a lot of blanket projects, don't I? So this is actually a blanket for my dad. I decided to make granny squares. These are 10-inch grannies. And I'm doing the flip it each time. And I'm trying to make a queen size blanket. And of course, I'm not entirely sure how many squares I'm going to need for a queen size blanket. So if any of you guys know how many squares I need to make, 10-inch squares I need to make a queen size blanket that will overhang, because again, I want it bigger than what it should be. I have quite a few, but I still don't think I have enough yet to, and I'm just using the yarn as it flows out of the ball, or the cake I should say. Has anybody figured out yet what I'm using? Lots and lots of squares here. Almost there. Alright, there's another big stack of them. So, if I remember correctly, I have 23 or 24 squares done. I am using let's find one that actually you can see the yarn label. I am using Caron Big Cakes in the colorway Cake Pop, which of course is now a discontinued color. And I only have 3 more full cakes and a partial cake left. So I'm really, really hoping I have enough here to finish the blanket. I have 2 balls of Caron 1 pound in the colorway black to join it all together. I'm hoping and praying. I'm hoping and praying that I can get it all done. I'd really like to get this one done before Christmas. This was supposed to be his Christmas present last year. Obviously, it didn't get done. I have a lot of projects I really need to focus on and get done. Well, maybe I'll have some crafting time while I'm waiting over the next couple of days for jury duty, right? Alright. Last one is this one. And this is actually from my husband. I am using, and on this one I am using a 5.5mm hook. The hook is in there, it's a furls. For this one, I am using my 5.5mm IT hook in this beautiful, like, solar colorway. Reminds me of the solar flare from Furls that no longer exists. And for this, I got a really good deal on this Brava worsted a couple years ago from Knit Picks. They had them on sale for like really unbelievably inexpensive. And I am making, this is that mosaic crochet pattern that I was talking about when I was talking about that Memphis mate, the Memphis, or the M&M stitch. I was saying I was working on a mosaic. Anybody tell what I might be making here? So this is going to be a cardigan for my husband. This is the back panel. I am using I really should have had all this stuff up, right? Downloads. And I will link this in the description box below. I am using the Big Skulls Mosaic pattern by Sixel Designs. Get back to the right. Yeah. I got this off her Etsy shop. She does have tutorials as well. So that is, yeah, that's the one that I'm using. And I'm using the colorway Celestial and Asphalt Heather. It's a steel, it's like a more of a heathered gray than a black. So that officially is the last of my WIPs. Yay, we made it. So that means starting next week we can start what I'm planning on doing for WIP Wednesdays. And what I'm planning on doing for WIP Wednesdays is I am going to number all of these WIPs, and I am going to start picking a number each week, and that will be my WIP that I primarily focus on. I mean, obviously, Boggy Creek stuff I'm going to have, it's going to kind of take priority. I'm done with all the granny squares that I was going to send to Linnea at Nita's Knots Crochet. I finished all of those, so I just gotta get those washed up. Yeah, because, you know, cats, I'm gonna wash everything before I send it out. So I gotta get those washed up and sent out. I'm hoping I can get that done sometime this week, since I'm not going to be having to work this week. Since I have jury duty, I might be able to get that done. Yeah, so thank you all for joining me. I'm sorry this was such a long one, but I really wanted to get all of these WIPs, wanted to show you all the WIPs that I had going so that we could start the fun WIP Wednesday, and yeah, so thank you again for joining me. Again, sorry this was such a long one, and we'll see you again soon. Have a safe and wonderful day. Bye, everybody.